Hello, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to do a bit more of an in-depth video. I got a couple of requests to do like how to like sort of more beginner tutorials to sort of go more into depth and show step by step what I like to do. So I wanted to show how I do a smoky eye and sort of give you more tips and tricks along the way if you are a beginner just starting out in makeup or you want to just sort of practice and get better at it. It took me a lot of practice to get like the blending down and everything. Like, I'm also by no means perfect, but I just wanted to sort of show how I like to do it. So I wanted to just do sort of like a generic smoky eye with like the dark on the eyelid and sort of blow it out into like a lighter, warmer colour. Yeah, I showed you how I like to shape my smoky eyes like I mentioned in my other video, and I showed you sort of my tips to get that really seamless blend. If you want to see my tips and tricks and my take on how to do a sort of generic smoky eye, then please just keep watching. Also in the video I mentioned that I was using all single shadows so that it's easier for you to get than buying like an expensive palette. The majority of the ones that I used are from Makeup Geek and they are like $5 each. I will link down below the link to the Beauty Bay website where you can get Makeup Geek from in the UK. I also use these two up here which are MAC eyeshadows, but Makeup Geek will have dupes for them if you prefer to use those colours. I tried to keep it quite neutral because I know I always do like reds and oranges and stuff. I did use warmer browns, but that's because, like I explained in the video, I like to make my eyes stand out and my eyes are like a bluey greeny colour, and I find that warmer colours in my smoky eyes really make my eyes stand out and not get too lost in the dark eyeshadows. But yeah, like I mentioned in the video, if you want a video on all these eyeshadows and I can like tell you the names of them all and what I like to use them for and like show you swatches and stuff, then just let me know, give the video a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below, let me know that you want me to do that. But yeah, if you want to see my tips and tricks on how to get this sort of like generic, simple smoky eye, then just keep watching. So please excuse my skin. I know it's not the best right now, but you know, what do you want me to do? I can't help it. But my first product that I always go in with is Soft Ochre Paint Pot. Because I have oily skin, this is good for oily lids and it kind of helps to keep your makeup on all day. If you do have problems with oil control. If you don't have problems with oily lids or you have dry skin, I would recommend either just going in with a concealer or you could use the Urban Decay primers. I know that they're quite hydrating, they're not too drying, but these ones are quite dry. But yeah, it's just really good because I've got quite like veiny eyelids, so I like to use this because it's really thick and cancels out. So I'm just going to use that on a little flat brush. Obviously you could just use your fingers, but I've got like these claws on at the minute, so I can't actually get into it. So I'm just going to apply a light layer of that. It's really important to put a light layer on because if you put too much on, it's going to do the exact opposite of what you want to do. I know my eyebrows are literally like out of control. I've got I've got like stray hairs everywhere, but I'm trying to grow them out. That's where I'm at with life right now. I'm going to be using all single eyeshadows today. Most of them are from Makeup Geek because I just love their eyeshadows. I think those are the best eyeshadows I've ever actually used, and they're literally a $5. So I'm going to go in with this colour here, which is Mylar. That is a MAC eyeshadow. It's probably the only one I'm going to be using. And I'm just going to use a Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush. Any sort of massive fluffy brush will do. So all you want to do is use a eyeshadow that is your skin colour or a little bit lighter if you want to use it as a highlight. What you're doing with this is the same sort of thing as setting your face. It's just going to make the eyeshadows a lot easier to blend because if you're trying to blend them on top of like a sticky base, they're just going to get stuck where you first put them and it's going to be really hard for you to blend out. Just make sure eyeshadows blend so much easier. So I'm going to try and keep this smoky eye quite neutral because obviously I want anyone to be able to do it if you're not a massive fan of warm colours, but obviously this palette is like all warm colours, so it's going to be hard for me not to do like a warm look, and those are my favourite. Firstly, you want to go in with a transition shade. So I'm going to use Creme Brulee from Makeup Geek, which is just this colour here. And the first brush I'm going to use is a Sigma E40. If you want more in-depth description of what I like to use these brushes for, I actually have a video of brushes on my channel, and I'll link that down below in the down bar if you want to see my favourite brushes and what I like to use them for. But with a transition shade, you're using this as your blending tool. So any sort of colour that you want that is similar to your skin tone or like a shade or two darker, and what this is going to do is just going to really help you blend out those darker colours If you're trying to blend out like a black or a really dark brown eyeshadow into nothing, it's not going to work. It's going to be really hard work. You're going to be there for hours blending. But if you've already got sort of a lighter shade or two there already, it's going to make it a lot easier for you to blend it out. So I'm going to go in with that on the top of the brush, and I'm going to put that in the crease and basically go in circular motions and blend it all over. With the transition shade, I'm not too fussed about it being neat because it's just, like I said, to help with blending. I like to go in with 2 or 3 lighter eyeshadows and work my way from lightest to darkest when I'm doing smoky eyes, because it makes it so much easier to blend, and when you're finished you've got like that nice dark to light gradient, and that's what makes it look really blended and really blown out and smoky. Yeah, but I just really like that gradient and like super blended look, and that's what a transition shade will help you achieve. It will make it look like you're like a pro blender, even if you're not and you're working on it. And the way I like to shape my smoky eyes, I like to make my eyes look a bit more like that almond shape. So I like to take it on my brush, and because I've not got my foundation on yet, I can really be as messy as I want because I can just clean it up later. So I'm gonna like literally blend it all the way down here, and that's gonna help you get that really seamless blend as well, because you're blending it way past where it's gonna be. So it's just gonna be really, really blown out, and then you can just wipe off all that excess and it's not gonna be there, but you'll still have the really, really seamless blend. Next, I'm gonna go in with this shade here, which is Tiki Hut. Take that on a Morphe M441, which is just like this natural hair brush, and it's really fluffy and huge. So I'm gonna pick up a little bit of that. I love these colours, like these like sicky browns, they're so nice. I want the most pigment to be there on that outer corner, like I said, because I want it to be more of an almond shape. And then I'm just gonna blend that in my crease, but keeping it a little bit lower than that first transition shade, so we can get that really nice blend. And again, I'm just blending that all the way out here so that it blends. I want to have a nice blown out smoke from the inner corner to the outer corner, so I am going to bring it in here as well. And you always want to keep the first brush that you used on hand, because you can just go over those edges. So I am going to be showing you how to do like a generic like dark eyelid smoky eye today. So I always like to go in with a warm shade, just because, like I said, I do have bluey greeny eyes and I like my eyes to stand out because I don't want them to get lost in the dark shades. So I'm going to go in with Cocoa Bear. I'm probably going to mix Cocoa Bear and Sidekick together, and I'm going to take that on a 217 by MAC, Morphe, and like every brand do brushes like these. It's just like a natural hair brush that's sort of pinched at the bottom and fluffier at the top. This is obviously a MAC one, so it's a bit more expensive, but you'll be able to get it for cheaper from Morphe or anywhere really. I'm going to start by popping it just in this outer corner, the placement of the initial product. So that's what that's like there. And then I'm going to start by blending that in the crease, but again keeping it a little bit lower than those other colours, just so that it blends seamlessly from dark to light. I'm going to pack that all over the lid. This isn't going to be our like darkest colour, but just to start off building that colour up on the eyelid. So again, just going back and forth in like window wiper motions in the crease. If you want to see why I like to use this brush, like I said, just check out the video below on the brushes that I like to use. But this is just really helpful for blending. I'm going to go back in with the Morphe M441 that we used that Tiki Hut shade on, and I'm just going to blend over that. My friend was telling me that she always ends up with a smoky eye that's like really round, but to tackle that, you want to make sure that you're not blending like this. Do you know what I mean? In sort of like a circle shape, unless that's the shape you want to go for. But if you want a more almond shape, just make sure that you're blending your brush straight out the way. It might feel weird to start off with, but you'll get the hang of it and it looks really, really flattering. You can also do the technique with the tape if you like, but I don't really like how harsh a line that gives you, so I like to do it like this and sort of have a smokier, like blown out look, rather than having like a super, super harsh line. And if you want me to show you a video on how to do that, then just let me know. So now for the darkest colour, I'm going to pop it in my crease first before I put it all over the lid, just because blending it through your crease first will do that initial blending for you, because if you just pack loads onto your lid, it's going to be a bit harder to blend out. So I'm going to use Americano, also from Makeup Geek, which is this colour here. It's just like a neutral sort of plummy brown. And I'm going to use my ZOEVA 224, which I don't think I speak about in this video because I just got it new, but it's like a really, really tiny brush, and it's really good for like precision work with darker colours, getting it like right in this crease and not getting it sort of everywhere all over your eye, for like controlled detail work. So I'm going to pick that up on that brush, And because I want my eye to be like an almond shape, I'm going to focus it on the outer corner first. And I'm sort of going in this V shape, which is going to give me that almond eye and that really blown out smoky eye. And then to pack that on, just take any sort of packing brush that you have. I got this with the Anastasia palette, and that's the brush I always use just to pack on colour. Just any sort of flat packing brush, like one like this will do. You can get ones from Morphe, like the concealer brushes from Morphe are meant to be quite good as packing brushes. I'm just going to take that exact same colour, that Americano, and I'm going to start in my eyelid, in my lash line, because that's where I want it to be the darkest. And then I'm just going to take that ZOEVA 224 and blend those edges. To clean this up, I'm just going to grab a makeup wipe. I'm not going to blend away too much because I wanted to still be really blown out and smoky once I've got my foundation on, but obviously I don't want it to be down here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look straight forward. I've got a mirror just here. I'm going to look straight forward into this mirror. Look at my, see when I film, I notice every single thing that is wrong with my face. Like this has to be, this side is so much lower than my other eyebrow. I have a lopsided face. And now obviously I don't want them to be this sharp, so I'm going to take a clean brush that I've not actually used. This is just like a little shader brush, whatever sort of fluffy brush you have, and I'm just going to blend those edges because I don't want it to be such a harsh line. So I'm going to go off camera and finish off my face, and then I'm going to come back and show you how I would do the under eyes. Okay, so I just went and finished my face off camera and I put some eyelashes on. These are just the Ardell Wispies. I've used these loads on my channel, so I didn't think I needed to use them again. Trick with the under eyes, I'm going to do it really smoky. I'm going to just use the exact same colours on my under eye in the exact same order with the exact same brushes. So I like to do my under eyes after I've done my face because I like to have them quite smoked out and blown out, and I don't want my concealer and stuff to ruin all the work I've done, so I do that after. So I'm going to first go in with Creme Brulee like I did on top. So just when I've been doing that, I am going to go in with a eyeliner. I'm just going to use this one from Topshop. I think I've used it before. It's just a brown, like a really dark brown rather than using a black. So I'm going to go in the waterline here. And then I'm just going to take that ZOEVA brush again, not putting any more product on it, just to blend them together. I'm going to go with a pencil brush. Mine's is like stained, but I'm going to start highlighting because obviously we've gone on all the dark colours. I want to sort of bring some light back to the look. So I'm going to go in with MAC Nylon. So I'm going to take that on a pencil brush and pop that right on the inner corner. Same pencil brush, I'm going to take it and at the very, very highest point of my eyebrow, pop that there. And then with the same fluffy brush, blend that. Excuse my roots because I need to do them again and look terribly. Okay, so that is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed this video and me going a bit more into depth and showing you like a how-to beginner smoky. If you want any more sort of like beginners tutorials, let me know what you would like me to show you, like if it's contour and highlighting or over drill your lips or anything like that, then please just let me know and I will make sure to do that for you. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up before you leave and don't forget to subscribe. The button should be down there somewhere. The red button, just give that a click. And again, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in my next video.